Over 4 million bags of Cheetos are made every single day. To meet this huge demand, special machines create about 250,000 Cheetos every hour. From harvesting corn in the fields to coating each piece with its famous orange seasoning, the journey of a Cheetos is a fascinating mix of science, precision, and flavor. Today, we're taking you inside the factory to see exactly how Cheetos are created on a massive scale. Cheetos were created in 1948 by Charles Dewlin, who discovered that extruding and frying cornmeal made a crunchy snack. Their mix of salt, cheese, and flavors quickly turned them into a popular success. Today, Frito-Lay produces more than 1 billion bags every year. But to make this enormous quantity, the company needs an incredible amount of corn. The process starts with harvesting yellow corn, chosen for its crisp texture. Machines cut the stalks, separate the cobs, and remove the husks and waste. Rotating cylinders strip the kernels, which are then cleaned by fans and stored. Once full, the harvester transfers the kernels to trucks that deliver them to the factory. At the factory, the corn is ground into fine cornmeal, a smooth powder with a high starch content. This is crucial for giving Cheetos their special crunch. The cornmeal is sifted to remove any lumps or large particles, ensuring it is uniform and ready for extrusion. In the massive Frito-Lay factory in Indiana, production is so large that the company stores its cornmeal in huge silos. Each silo holds up to 100 tons, enough to make about 2.5 million bags of Cheetos. A team of 250 workers keeps operations running smoothly every day to supply consumers across the United States and beyond. The cornmeal is moved to the production floor through a vacuum system similar to a giant industrial vacuum cleaner. When production is running at full speed, the factory consumes about 24 tons of cornmeal per shift, the equivalent of 3 truckloads every single day. To start cooking, the cornmeal is mixed with water to form a moist but firm dough. Precision is critical here. Too much water makes the dough sticky, while too little makes it brittle. Powerful mixing machines ensure the dough is perfectly uniform. This step determines whether the final Cheetos will be light and crunchy. The dough is then pushed into an extruder, one of the most secret and important machines in the process. The extruder works with extreme heat and pressure, similar to a giant blender, and it is responsible for giving Cheetos their unique shape. Inside, the dough reaches temperatures of more than 180 degrees Celsius, while under very high pressure. The water inside remains liquid because of the pressure, storing thermal energy. When the dough exits the extruder through a small nozzle, the sudden drop in pressure makes the trapped water instantly turn into steam. This causes the dough to expand explosively, puffing up into the airy structure that defines every Cheeto. This scientific process is called flash expansion. Immediately after, fast rotating blades cut the dough into small pieces, keeping them uniform in size. At this point, the Cheetos are still pale and flavorless. They are transported to a drying system where extra moisture is removed. Then they move on conveyor belts into giant fryers filled with hot oil at more than 300 degrees Celsius. The pieces are fried for just a few seconds, sealing in their crunchy texture and giving them a golden color. Some varieties are baked instead of fried, resulting in a lighter but still crispy product. Next comes the most famous stage, flavoring. Every year, Frito-Lay uses more than 5,000 tons of cheddar cheese for Cheetos. This cheese is combined with salt, oil, and spices to create the signature seasoning. The fried corn puffs are placed into a huge rotating drum where they are coated with this cheese powder. The drum ensures each piece is covered evenly, giving Cheetos their bright orange color and addictive taste. The orange powder is part of the Cheetos experience. It sticks to your fingers, extending the enjoyment even after the last bite. For many fans, licking the cheesy dust is part of the fun. Once flavored, the Cheetos pass through a cooling system to make sure they keep their texture during packaging. High-tech sensors and cameras check the size, shape, and color of each piece. Samples are tested for salt, oil, and moisture levels. Only after passing these tests can they move on to packaging. On the packaging line, gates release the exact amount of Cheetos into weighing machines to prepare the right portion for each bag. Ultra-fast packing machines fill and seal about 100 bags per minute. Each bag is heat-sealed airtight to keep the snacks fresh and crunchy. The bags are then placed into cardboard boxes, which are stacked on pallets by robots. Each pallet contains dozens of boxes, and a fully loaded truck can be filled in just 8 minutes. The Indiana plant alone has 8 production lines, each capable of producing around 28 tons of Cheetos per day. Every day, about 55 trucks leave the factory loaded with pallets of snacks ready to be shipped to stores worldwide. And here we have a pineapple factory, where fresh tropical fruit is processed with amazing speed and precision. It all begins when the pineapples are thoroughly washed with clean water to remove dirt and dust. Then, they move along a conveyor belt to a giant cutting machine that peels off the rough outer skin and removes the hard core inside. In just seconds, the machine slices the fruit into perfect rings or small chunks. Workers check each piece to make sure it looks fresh and clean before packaging. Finally, the pineapple pieces are packed into plastic bags, sealed tightly, and labeled for shipping. At this tomato juice factory, trucks deliver freshly picked tomatoes. Next, the washing process removes any dirt or impurities, and each tomato is sorted by hand to separate the ripe ones from those that are damaged. After sorting, the juicing process begins using the fresh squeezed straight method. The tomatoes are gently pressed to release their juice without crushing the seeds or skins. This gentle method helps preserve the smooth texture and natural aroma of the tomato. The freshly squeezed juice is then tested to check its consistency, viscosity, and flavor. Next comes sterilization, where the juice is spread thinly between metal plates to ensure it is safe and clean. After cooling, the juice is filled into packs rolled into round shapes and sealed with straws attached. Finally, the packs are boxed, wrapped, and shipped to stores, ready for customers to enjoy fresh tomato juice. In modern ice cream factories, machines help make delicious chocolate wafer sandwiches with great precision. The process starts with robotic feeders that carefully place soft chocolate wafers on a moving belt. These robots work with incredible accuracy, making sure each wafer is perfectly spaced, no more than 0.5 millimeters apart. This careful stacking is important for creating neat, even sandwiches. Next comes the most exciting part, the ice cream. A fast-moving cutter quickly slices the ice cream into perfect, equal portions. Each slice is made to fit exactly between the wafers. Right after that, another chocolate wafer gently drops on top of the ice cream, finishing the sandwich. Over 12 million pieces of KFC's fried chicken are served every day around the world. To meet this massive demand, millions of chickens are raised and processed. But how is KFC's famous crispy fried chicken made? In this video, we'll take you behind the scenes to see how the crispiest, most delicious fried chicken is produced. Kentucky Fried Chicken was created by Colonel Harlan Sanders in the 1940s. His secret recipe, made with 11 herbs and spices, changed the way chicken is prepared. It offered an unmatched flavor and a signature crispy texture, making fried chicken more popular and accessible. The journey of KFC's chicken begins on poultry farms. In the United States alone, thousands of farms raise chickens to supply KFC. Over 14,000 hens lay about 12,000 fertile eggs daily. The eggs roll onto a conveyor belt, where workers separate fertile from infertile ones. Fertile eggs are stored at 20 degrees Celsius until sent to the hatchery, where they are incubated in controlled conditions for 18 days. The eggs are carefully turned every hour to simulate natural conditions. By day 19, chicks begin to hatch, emerging covered in down feathers. In their first few weeks, chicks are fed a high-protein starter feed to support early growth. As they mature, they switch to a grower feed, rich in protein, energy, and essential nutrients for muscle development and weight gain. With 24/7 access to automatic feeders and drinkers, they grow uninterrupted. Females reach slaughter weight in about 38 days, while males take around 65 days to reach 3 kilograms. Once they reach the desired weight, they are transported to the meat processing plant. When the chickens arrive, they are humanely stunned to make sure they are unconscious and do not feel pain before they are quickly slaughtered. The feathers are removed by dipping the chickens in a hot water bath, followed by a machine with rotating rubber fingers that remove the feathers. The chicken's outer surface is washed with high-pressure water and food-safe solutions to clean off feathers, dirt, and waste, while the inside is flushed with clean water to remove blood and tissue. The feet are usually removed first. Next, a vent cutter is used to carefully remove the chicken's internal organs, including the intestines, liver, heart, and lungs, in one motion. Plant workers and inspectors check each chicken for diseases and issues like bruising. Only a small number of chickens are rejected. Those that meet the standards continue through the process. The chickens are then moved to an automated system where they are positioned precisely using hooks or clamps. This ensures that the cutting machines can work efficiently. Key parts like breast meat are processed with great precision. The front halves of the chickens are placed on specialized saddles that hold them securely. Cutting tools based on a programmed recipe make precise cuts for consistent product quality. Once the birds are pre-cut, they go to manual stations where workers pick fillets and tenders for the best quality. After the meat is separated from the bones, it is scanned with advanced X-ray technology to find any remaining bone fragments. Pieces with leftover bone are sent for manual inspection, where workers remove the remaining bits by hand. Boneless meat is then sent to an intelligent processing line that releases the products only when they meet specific batch requirements. The finished chicken parts, including drumsticks, thighs, and breasts, are delivered fresh or frozen to KFC. Before cooking begins, the chicken undergoes a quality check to ensure it has no defects, is in good condition, and meets KFC's standards. The chicken is first dipped in a liquid mixture, usually made of water with a touch of spices and salt. After marinating, the pieces are removed and coated in KFC's signature flour and spice blend. This step is key to achieving the brand's famous flavor and crispy texture. Next, the chicken is pressed firmly into the coating, ensuring the batter adheres properly. Workers follow a precise process, lifting and turning each piece 20 times. Excess flour is then shaken off to prevent the coating from becoming too thick. Now, the chicken is ready for pressure frying, the same method perfected by Colonel Sanders in the 1940s. Industrial pressure fryers cook the chicken quickly and evenly at 180 degrees Celsius for about 10 minutes. This method ensures the chicken remains juicy on the inside while developing a crispy golden brown crust. Unlike traditional frying, pressure frying helps the chicken absorb less oil, keeping the texture light and flavorful while sealing in natural juices. After frying, the chicken is placed on a tray to drain any excess oil. It is left to rest for a few minutes, allowing the coating to set and the internal juices to redistribute. This step enhances the overall taste and texture, making every bite more satisfying. Once the order is ready, the freshly cooked chicken is placed into KFC's iconic buckets. These containers are specially designed to keep the chicken warm and crisp until it reaches the customer. And here we have a fried chicken processing factory, where the journey begins with coating. Fresh or frozen chicken pieces are covered in a mixture of flour, spices, and sometimes batter. This coating gives the chicken its crispy texture when fried. Next comes the frying stage. The coated chicken moves into large industrial fryers filled with hot oil. The right temperature and frying time ensure the chicken is fully cooked inside while turning golden and crispy on the outside. After frying, the chicken is drained to remove excess oil. It is then cooled, packed, and either frozen or sent out fresh for delivery. Quality checks are done at every step to ensure safety and great taste. This process allows the factory to produce large amounts of fried chicken quickly and efficiently, ensuring customers always get a delicious, crispy product to enjoy. As we continue, let's take a closer look at canned sardines. This popular and convenient food item is produced in factories through a simple yet fascinating process. It starts with fresh sardines, which are small, oily fish. The fish are first cleaned with their heads and tails removed, and then washed thoroughly. After cleaning, they are cooked, usually by steaming or frying to prepare them for canning. Once cooked, the sardines are placed into cans, often with oil, water, or sauce added for flavor and preservation. The cans are sealed tightly to keep the fish fresh and safe. They are then heated again to eliminate bacteria and ensure long shelf life. Finally, the cans are labeled, packed, and shipped to stores. Canned sardines are not only convenient but also nutritious, offering a good source of protein and healthy fats. And they can be stored for months without refrigeration. From tropical farms to store shelves, behind every can of coconut water or bottle of coconut oil is a long and careful journey. It all starts in the tropical coconut gardens where tall trees sway in the sun and wind. Workers climb these trees using simple tools like a scarf tied around their feet and a sharp sickle. They skillfully cut down the heavy bunches of coconuts by hand. Once harvested, the coconuts are taken to a factory. There, machines or workers remove the thick outer shell and check each one for quality. For coconut water, only fresh, sweet coconuts are used. For coconut oil, the white flesh is grated, then pressed or simmered to extract the oil. Coconut milk is also made by grinding and pressing the meat. Modern machines help with packaging to keep everything clean and fresh. Modern, large-scale bakeries produce baked goods with minimal human involvement. Workers mainly oversee the process and clean the equipment. What you're seeing is a bread production line made up of many machines that handle different stages of production. These machines work in sequence, completing the entire baking process. The bread moves between them on conveyor belts. The machines you see are made by the Finland-based company Pekka Automation. This system includes various machines, each with a specific function. For example, the packaging machine can pack 45 products per minute using different sealing methods such as heat, glue, or staples. Another option is closing the package with a clip. Now, you're looking at a bread slicer. Its speed depends on the model and bread type, ranging from 40 to 70 pieces per minute. Over 2 million tons of honey are produced around the world every year. That's the result of billions of bees working together across millions of hectares of land. But how does something as simple as flower nectar become the golden, sweet liquid we find in jars? It all begins in the fields. Worker bees leave the hive every day to collect nectar, the sweet liquid produced by flowers to attract pollinators. This nectar varies in taste, color, and texture depending on the type of flower. Bees use a long, tube-like tongue called a proboscis to suck the nectar from flowers. Once collected, the nectar is stored in a special part of the bee's body called the honey stomach, different from its regular stomach. The honey stomach holds the nectar until the bee returns to the hive. Back at the hive, the bee passes the nectar to another worker bee, which places it into the wax cells of the hive's honeycomb. It's in these hexagonal cells that the process of turning nectar into honey begins. Bees work together in an amazing way to turn nectar into honey. Inside the hive, they move the nectar between cells and expose it to the air. This helps most of the water in the nectar to evaporate. While doing this, bees add special enzymes, like invertase, that break down complex sugars, like sucrose, into simpler ones like glucose and fructose. This not only makes honey easier to digest, but also helps it last longer. As the nectar thickens and the sugar levels rise, the bees keep working until the honey reaches the right moisture level. When it's ready, they seal the honeycomb cells with a thin layer of wax. This keeps the honey fresh and stops it from fermenting. Once the honey is mature and has the right texture, beekeepers start the harvesting process. This step must be done very carefully to avoid harming the bees or damaging the hive. Honeycombs, the wax structures where honey is stored, are removed using special tools. Beekeepers handle them gently to protect the hive and the bees' environment. After being removed, the honeycombs are taken to processing centers. There, the honey is extracted and prepared for packaging. This process is important not just for ensuring good quality honey, but also for treating the bees with care and preserving their health. A single hive can produce between 15 and 30 kilograms of honey per year, depending on things like the type of flowers nearby, the weather, and the overall health of the bees. In many honey-producing countries, the number of beehives is a major factor in total production. For example, the United States has over 2.6 million beehives, while China has more than 10 million. The number of hives needed depends on how much land is farmed, the species of bees, and local climate conditions, since honey changes based on the flowers and the region it's made in. The next step in honey production is uncapping, which involves removing the wax layer that bees use to seal and protect the honey inside the comb. This wax cap, called the operculum, is carefully cut away using a special knife or a machine. This step must be done with precision to avoid damaging the honey or the wax. The wax that's removed isn't wasted. It's valuable and can be reused many times. It's often melted down and used to make other products like candles, lip balms, and skin creams, adding extra value to the beekeeping process. After uncapping, the honeycombs go through extraction. This is usually done using a machine that spins the combs at high speed. The spinning creates centrifugal force which pulls the honey out of the cells. The honey then collects in a large container. At this stage, it still contains tiny bits of wax, dust, pollen, and other small impurities. To make sure the honey is clean and ready to eat, it goes through filtering. It's passed through fine mesh or stainless steel screens that remove all the small particles without affecting the natural benefits of the honey. In some cases, honey is also pasteurized, which means it's gently heated to kill off any bacteria or yeast. This helps extend its shelf life and ensure safety. However, pasteurization can also destroy some of the natural enzymes found in raw honey. So not all honey is pasteurized, especially if it's being marketed for its raw natural properties. Once the honey is clean and ready, it's poured into jars or bottles of various sizes depending on how it will be sold. During packaging, care is taken to keep the honey from being exposed to air or outside contaminants. The containers are tightly sealed to prevent oxidation and to keep out air or microbes that could affect the honey's quality. At this stage in honey production, a filling line carefully pours the right amount of honey into containers. These containers, made of glass, plastic, or heat-resistant pouches, are moved along a conveyor belt to the sealing station. Sealing is done with great care because any mistake here could affect the honey's quality. Next comes quality control, an essential step before the honey reaches consumers. Several tests are performed to check key factors like moisture content, since too much moisture can cause fermentation. Acidity is also measured to assess freshness and overall balance. Other qualities, such as flavor, texture, and appearance, are examined to make sure the honey meets high standards. These tests also ensure that the honey is safe to eat and follows all health and food safety regulations. This includes checking that it's free from pesticide residues and other contaminants. Once the honey passes all checks, it's ready to be distributed to supermarkets, local stores, and markets. People enjoy honey in many ways, and its taste, color, and texture often depend on the type of flowers the bees visited. As we continue our journey into food production, let's explore how cow sausages are made in a factory. Factories use a step-by-step process to make them tasty and safe to eat. First, fresh cow meat is cleaned and ground into fine pieces. Spices, salt, and other flavorings are mixed into the meat to give the sausages their delicious taste. The seasoned meat is then stuffed into casings, which are thin tubes made from natural or synthetic materials. These casings hold the meat together and give the sausages their classic shape. Once stuffed, the sausages are linked into portions and cooked in ovens or smokehouses to enhance their flavor and ensure they are fully cooked. After cooking, the sausages are cooled and inspected for quality. They are then packaged in plastic wraps or vacuum-sealed bags to keep them fresh. Finally, the sausages are boxed and sent to stores, ready to be enjoyed in meals or on the grill. This hot dog factory produces over 300,000 crispy cheese hot dogs every single day using fully automated equipment. Each treat starts with half a sausage and half a block of cheese, placed together on a stick to create the perfect mix of savory and creamy. The sticks are dipped into a thick batter made from flour, eggs, and milk, creating a smooth and even coating. Then they are rolled in crunchy breadcrumbs to add an irresistible texture. Once coated, the hot dogs move into giant fryers filled with hot oil, where they are cooked until golden and crispy on the outside, while the cheese inside melts into a gooey perfection. After frying, They are cooled to keep their texture light and crisp. Finally, each hot dog is packed and sealed to lock in freshness, ready to be shipped to stores. Next up, let's explore butter production. For this, we start with pasteurized cultured cream. This cream has been heated to kill off any unwanted bacteria, ensuring a clean foundation for creating quality butter. Once pasteurized, the cream is stored in a cold room for about a week. This initial chilling period stabilizes the cream and readies it for the next steps in production. After the cream is chilled, it's time to warm it up. The cream is carefully heated to around 40 degrees Celsius to create the perfect environment for fermentation. At this stage, lactic acid bacteria are added to the cream. These bacteria are essential because they start a fermentation process slowly breaking down the cream and introducing a tangy flavor unique to cultured butter. Now, the cream is left to ferment for 3 to 4 weeks. This extended fermentation period is crucial. It allows the cream to develop complex flavors and textures that make cultured butter special. While this may seem time-consuming, it's this step that gives the butter its rich and delicious taste. Once the fermentation period is complete, the cream undergoes further processing stages. It's churned to separate the butterfat from the buttermilk. Churning is a vigorous process, agitating the cream until it thickens and solidifies. This churning also gives the butter its creamy, spreadable texture. After churning, the butter is washed to remove any remaining buttermilk, helping it last longer and stay fresh. Then it's shaped, packaged, and ready for distribution. Over 11.5 billion Red Bull cans are sold each year, making it one of the most consumed energy drinks on the planet. Red Bull is not only interested in selling carbonated drinks. The company's vision is much broader and covers several areas, always innovating and expanding its horizons. The Red Bull manufacturing process is an example of industrial precision, ensuring that each can offers the same quality and effectiveness. Let's explore this process step by step, from ingredient selection to final distribution. Red Bull is composed of a specific combination of ingredients: taurine, caffeine, B vitamins, glucuronolactone, sucrose, and glucose. Taurine is an important amino acid for regulating energy levels. Caffeine is added to increase concentration and alertness. B vitamins are essential for energy production, and glucuronolactone helps combat fatigue. All of these ingredients are carefully chosen to ensure their purity and quality. After the meticulous selection of the essential components, the ingredients are transferred to large stainless steel tanks. These tanks are not just containers. They are fundamental pieces of the production process that guarantee the purity of the final product. The mixture needs to be exact and rigorously controlled to ensure the unique and exclusive formula of Red Bull. It is during this process that the exact quantities of each ingredient, such as caffeine, taurine, B vitamins, sugar, and carbonated water, are meticulously combined. Each addition is measured with millimeter precision to ensure that there are no deviations in the composition. This initial mixture forms the basis of the product, a concentrated solution that already contains all the elements that will give Red Bull its characteristic flavor and energetic properties. The use of stainless steel containers is essential because this material is resistant to corrosion and does not interfere with the chemical properties of the mixture. To achieve this consistency, sophisticated control systems continuously monitor the composition of the mixture, adjusting for any minimal variations in real time. The precision in the mixture not only ensures the homogeneity of the product, but also contributes to its safety, avoiding contamination and guaranteeing the quality that consumers expect from a leading brand in the energy drinks market. Each batch produced undergoes rigorous quality tests before moving on to the next stage. After the meticulous mixing of the ingredients, the drink goes through the crucial pasteurization process. This step involves heating the mixture to a carefully controlled temperature to eliminate any bacteria or impurities present. Pasteurization not only ensures product safety by eliminating microorganisms that could compromise the health of consumers, but also extends the shelf life of the drink, allowing Red Bull to maintain its quality for longer. The process is meticulously monitored to ensure that the temperature reaches precise levels without compromising the properties and flavor of the drink. After pasteurization, the mixture is rapidly cooled to preserve its integrity and prepare it for the next stage of the production process. The pasteurized mixture is then transferred to a filling tank. Here, the previously washed and sterilized aluminum cans wait to be filled with the drink. Filling is carried out through a highly automated system that ensures that each can receive the exact amount of Red Bull. This system not only optimizes the efficiency of the process, but also ensures product uniformity, ensuring that each can offer the same drinking experience. After filling, the cans are hermetically sealed with aluminum caps, protecting the contents from any contamination and ensuring that the product remains fresh and safe for consumption. After filling and sealing, the Red Bull cans undergo an automatic labeling process. The labels are applied accurately and include all the necessary consumer information, such as the list of ingredients, nutritional value, storage instructions, and best before date. This step is essential to maintain transparency with consumers and to comply with food safety regulations. The labeled cans are then grouped into packs and shipping boxes, a highly automated process that maximizes efficiency and consistency. The packaging is designed to facilitate transportation and storage, ensuring that the cans reach the points of sale in perfect condition. This packaging system is also crucial for logistics, allowing large quantities of Red Bull to be distributed quickly and effectively to meet global demand. Before being sent for distribution, the cans undergo rigorous quality controls. This step ensures that all cans are in perfect condition, without leaks, and with accurate contents. Any defect identified results in the removal of the defective can from the batch. Finally, the Red Bull cans are palletized and prepared for distribution. The logistics process is carefully planned to ensure that the product arrives fresh and ready for consumption at all points of sale around the world. Red Bull is distributed to global markets, where it is consumed by millions of people looking for an energy boost. Over 100 million gummy bears are eaten every day worldwide. Today, we're taking you behind the scenes of the fascinating gummy bear manufacturing process. From raw ingredients to perfectly shaped gummies, we'll uncover the secrets of their ingredients, cooking process, molding, and even quality control to ensure every gummy is perfect. The process starts with key ingredients: gelatin powder, sucrose, glucose, water, and flavors and colorings. Gelatin is a protein derived from collagen found in animal tissues and bones, giving gummies their chewy and elastic texture. Sucrose, or common table sugar, that provides sweetness, while glucose helps prevent the gummies from becoming too hard. Water is essential for mixing the ingredients, and flavors and colorings, whether natural like fruit extracts or artificial, give gummies their final taste and appearance. The manufacturing process begins with preparing the gelatin. The The gelatin powder is first sprinkled into cold water and left to soak for about 20 to 30 minutes, allowing it to absorb the water and hydrate. Once hydrated, the mixture is transferred to a large tank where it is combined with sugars to continue the production process. The mixture is heated until the sugars are fully dissolved, creating a smooth, oogary solution. At this stage, the hydrated gelatin is added. The mixture is then carefully heated to a controlled temperature to ensure the gelatin dissolves properly without breaking down. Once the gelatin and sugars are fully dissolved and the mixture reaches the ideal temperature, the flavor and color are added. Flavors are blended in, followed by colorants, which can be natural or artificial. Next comes the homogenization phase, where the mixture is continuously stirred. This constant movement prevents lumps from forming and ensures that all ingredients blend evenly. It also helps eliminate air bubbles, maintaining a smooth texture. The mixture is then transferred to special cooking tanks designed to withstand high temperatures and distribute heat evenly. Temperature control is crucial at this stage, with the tanks set between 120 degrees Celsius and 150 degrees Celsius, depending on the specific gummy recipe. The mixture is heated gradually to preserve the structure of the gelatin and prevent flavor loss, which could occur if the heat is too intense or applied too quickly. Once the mixture reaches the perfect consistency, the initial cooling process begins. This controlled cooling thickens the mixture, making it easier to pour into molds without spilling or creating misshapen gummies. The next step is preparing the trays that will be used for molding by filling them with fine cornstarch. The cornstarch not only lines the trays, but also acts as a natural release agent, preventing the gummy mixture from sticking to the mold. This makes it easier to remove the gummies once they are set. Next, stamps with different shapes, such as gummy bears, worms, or other figures, are pressed into the starch, creating precise cavities for molding. The next step involves precise depositing of the gummy mixture. Special machines are calibrated to dispense the exact amount of liquid mixture into each cavity. Once filled, the trays are left at room temperature for gradual cooling. During this period, the gelatin in the mixture begins to set, forming the final gummy shape. The solidification process takes several hours. To remove the gummies, the trays undergo a mechanical tapping or vibration process. This gentle movement helps release the gummies from the starch molds without damaging their shape. After demolding, any remaining starch is removed using soft brushes or compressed air. The excess starch is then collected, sieved to remove impurities, and reused in the molding process. Next, the gummies are transferred to drying tunnels or designated drying areas. These tunnels maintain a controlled environment with circulating hot air to remove any remaining moisture, ensuring the gummies achieve their ideal texture. The final step is coating, which enhances the appearance and texture. A small amount of vegetable oil or carnauba wax is applied to give the gummies a glossy finish and prevent them from sticking together. Commonly used oils include coconut or palm oil. The coating method varies depending on the type of gummy and the desired effect. Some are lightly sprayed while others are dipped. For gummies with a sugary or sour finish, a special coating mix is prepared and applied to give them their signature texture and taste. The gummy candies are placed in rotating drums for the coating process. As they rotate, the sugary or sour coating is gradually added. The continuous movement ensures an even distribution covering each gummy uniformly. The process continues until the coating fully dries and adheres to the candies, creating a slightly crunchy outer layer. This step is crucial to ensuring product quality and safety. It helps prevent errors like the one that occurred in August 2023 in Spain, when cupcake-shaped candies were mistakenly sold with toxic microplastics. Factory operators carefully inspect each gummy for shape, weight, color, and size defects. Any piece that does not meet strict quality standards is discarded. Once the gummies pass inspection, they move on to the automated packaging process. First, they are precisely weighed to ensure each package contains the correct amount. Then, packaging machines efficiently place them into bags, boxes, or plastic containers. These machines open, fill, and seal the packaging to maintain freshness and prevent contamination. Depending on the packaging type, the final seal may use heat or adhesives. Once harvested, the shrimp's delivered to the factory, where they are washed thoroughly in cold water to remove dirt, bacteria, and contaminants, helping maintain their freshness. The shrimp are then graded and sorted by size and quality. After this, they are deveined by making a small incision to remove the digestive tract, which improves both appearance and taste. Next, the shrimp are peeled, and depending on market preferences, some may have their tails left intact. In some factories, shrimp are further processed into breaded or seasoned products. This involves coating the shrimp with batter, breadcrumbs, or seasonings before frying them in hot oil for added flavor and texture. After frying or final preparation, shrimp are quickly frozen individually on conveyor belts to preserve freshness and ensure easy portioning. Finally, the frozen shrimp are weighed, packed into secure containers, and stored at low temperatures, ready for distribution to markets.